Good evening, everyone. This is CV here of CV Hydro, and I'm the chief instructor at CV Hydro, the founder and the CEO of the company. CV Hydro is basically a brand of Agraganya Skills Private Limited, and we have been, like Rajiv said, almost 17 years in India, spearheading education in soilless agriculture to start with. In any endeavor in the world, in any industry, we need to have skill. Without skill, it's not possible to make money or do anything. It is not just agriculture, it can be anything. Just to give you a background of mine, I worked in the submarines in the Indian Navy. I was a weapons specialist and a sonar specialist. And to be honest with you, the amount of training that goes into becoming a full-fledged submariner is not easy. It takes quite a bit of effort, quite a bit of learning, and same goes with agriculture. So while I say this, I have this clear understanding that without having the knowledge required, it's going to be very hard for anybody to make money in any industry, including agriculture. Today's talk is basically to introduce you to something, many things, and open your eyes to what we've been doing. And most of the hydroponic projects in India that have been done commercially have, very few of them have really made money. The reason why they have not made money is because I'm getting confused. The reason why they are not making money is because they started without any skill. They just thought, something is shown on some Excel sheet and some rosy pictures are shown, and people are told that, yes, you'll get this much in the market, you'll get that much in the market. But to get something in the market, you first have to grow something properly. If the grade itself is not good, then what market are we talking about? What kind of money are we talking about? Today, we have come to a stage where I started my journey in 2020 during COVID, and I did some path-breaking work on soilless turmeric, and I did some amazing work on soilless turmeric, and we received the following results. One was, first of all, we don't use chemical pesticides at all in the way we grow our turmeric. We grow them in grow bags with cocoa peat as a media. So when the results came out, we had the following results. One was there was no chemical pesticide residue. There was no heavy metal traces at all. There was no microbiological contamination. And there was a yield which was almost 10 to 14 times than what one can get in the soil. So today we, like when I say, what is the real problem that we're facing? What was the reason I did this research? I knew that the Indian turmeric is very much sought after around the world. And to tell you, India produces almost 80% of the world's turmeric. And still, we have our turmeric being rejected by the European Union countries, by United States, Japan, and so on and so forth. The reason is because most of the turmeric that we export from India is found to have heavy metals, and it is not within the qualifying requirements of the European Union or any of these countries. So why are we doing this? What is the problem? The problem is that even though we are the largest turmeric producer globally, our quality and yield needs a lot of improvement. Yes, if you want to make money by exporting, obviously you got to make sure that you more than exceed the requirements of these countries. Earlier on, people used to talk, they would talk about, contamination in parts per million. Today, they talk about contamination in parts per billion. So you can imagine how much more stricter these countries have become. Most often, the turmeric that we get in the market, we buy them because they're shiny. The powder is beautiful. It looks golden orange or reddish orange, and we buy it because of the color. But does anybody realize that there's so much of lead chromate that is being added to it, and lead is a cancer-causing ingredient? So we have achieved path-breaking result when I say we have now come to a point where we can produce turmeric and or ginger, which is export worthy, which can be exported to the world. So there is a lot of potential for Indian turmeric and ginger to move into these foreign markets. For that, we need to up our game. We need to make sure that we do something properly. Otherwise, we are not going to get anywhere. Yes, you can sell your turmeric powder in the local market. That's fine. But if you want to be into the export side of it, you want to grow some world-class turmeric, then this is the place, and you're at the right place to hear about it. There's a lot of lack of standardization when it comes to curcumin content. There is a lot of mixing of various varieties happening. The germplasms are all mixed. We are actually going through a crisis. And in this crisis, which I looked at, which people look at as a challenge, I saw that as an opportunity. So in 2020, I worked really hard and brought the best results possible. We increased the curcumin content of the Salem turmeric, which normally doesn't go beyond 2.9 or 3% to 5.91%. And this year, we are going to be doing even more research to increase the curcumin content on the one side. The traditional farming ways do not work as well. And we all know that we are now going through what is known as global warming. There's no surety of the weather. We are going through the biggest challenges that is there and will be there as we move forward. So international regulations are very strict, and that actually is not allowing us to move forward. This is a statistic that we got from the Mission for Integrated Development of Horticulture. It's an Indian organization, a mission. And this is some statistic of 2000. This is a statistic of 2021-22, if I'm not wrong. And you can see here, turmeric and ginger contribute significantly to India's spice production, with turmeric accounting for 10.87% and ginger 20.52% total spice production. Exports in those years of 21-22 was 153,000 metric tons, and that was worth about 1,784 crores in the international market. And ginger, again, 147 tons was exported, and for a value of 834 crores. To be honest with you, I really laugh at these figures because we have so much more potential, and this 837 crores can be 83,700 crores if we do it properly for ginger, and for turmeric, say again another 10 times. So in spite of exporting ginger and turmeric, we are also a net importer of turmeric into the country. We bring in turmeric for curcumin extraction from Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos. And it's a shame that we have to import turmeric from elsewhere when we produce 80% of the world's turmeric. So you got the pricing information. In those days, the export price at that particular point in time was about 116 rupees 50 paisa per kilo for turmeric, and the import price was about $100, 100.40 per kilo. That is when it came from Vietnam and those countries. So the whole mission that we have started, Mission Turmeric, is not how to teach you how to grow turmeric, because India has been growing turmeric for the last 6,000 years. We are here to show you how to grow world-class, saleable, export-worthy turmeric by using soilless agriculture as the medium or the technology. So, like I said, soilless farming is the future for turmeric and ginger, if you look at it, because both belong to the same family. We started Mission Turmeric, and then we added ginger, so it became Mission Haldrak, Haldi for turmeric, and Adrak is basically ginger. So it became Mission Haldrak in 2021. And our research and development, and through the years, many of our small and commercial growers have proved that there is commercial viability. Data-driven farming techniques, that means, when we have growers growing for us, we collect almost 64 different parameters of data from our growers, from wherever they are, and we analyze the data, and we help in predicting what can happen and take right steps to take the crop to the genetic potential. So yes, like Rajiv said, I have almost 25 years of experience in soilless farming and hydroponics, 8 years in Australia, where I learned the hard way, working on farms right from a laborer level to the level of almost a packing area manager or a mid-level
Not audible.
Yeah, there was a break in the thing due to broadband. Sorry for that.
Is the screen visible now for everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Go to the next slide. Yeah, so soilless turmeric R&D was completed in 2020, and in 21 we launched Mission Turmeric, where we started to teach people with boot camps and get them ready for the next season. The pictures you see there are of my students, and that was one of my earliest boot camps, where we are taking an oath that we will produce world-class turmeric without the use of chemical pesticides, and bring out some export-worthy turmeric to the world. So these
So you're not audible.
You are not audible.
nobody is able to get.
Is, is it audible right now? Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
thank you.
Okay, sorry for that, guys. Technology at its best. Where am I? I can't see myself. Okay, doesn't matter. Yeah, so like I said, we've done almost 18 different boot camps in different parts of India. We've trained more than 380 students during this boot camp so far. The last boot camp ended on this February on the 16th of Feb. And we have about 17 small format growers this year, and we already have two commercial growers who are moving forward at 1 acre each. They're on this they're there on this platform right now, and we will be asking them to give a few words about what made them what motivated them to get into it, and they will tell you a small story as well. Anyway, so residue-free turmeric tea powder and pickles can be made, and the money, actually speaking, in any raw material in agriculture, the money is not in the raw material. The money is always when you do post processing. So we plan as CV Hydro to be buying back turmeric from anyone who grows it for us as per the standards that we need. If anyone is ready to grow it as per the standards we need, we are going to be buying back. The price and everything will be discussed at the later stage during the program. And the basic thing is that why should you just be happy with few tons per acre in the soil when you can grow world-class turmeric and how much higher yield and turmeric of a quality that has never been seen before. So the Haldrak journey, like I said, started in 2020, backed by the effort of R&D that I did. We had 2 commercial farms that delivered in 2021 and proved large-scale viability. They did almost 5 tons. I mean, yeah, 5 kilograms per grow bag. Then 2 commercial farms have signed up this year, and also another 2 acres for the next season has also been signed up in advance. 100% practical R&D learning, growers trained, 18 boot camps completed from between 2021 to 25, actually, till February 25. 17 growers have joined for the practical R&D learning growers for 2025-26 season. And like I said, 380 students have been trained in small formats and even in our growers group, and we're still counting. We are expecting another at least 20-25 growers of small format of 500 and 1,000 square feet to be joining the group this year. So like I said, the yield per grow bag has averaged between 6 to 9.565 kilograms on an average, which means a lot as far as viability is concerned. So what is the buyback offer that I'm giving? The buyback offer that I'm giving right now is that CV Hydro offers to buy back 50 tons of residue-free turmeric powder, and the standards for that will be made available to everyone who sign up with us as to, or before they sign up, that this is the kind of quality that we'll be looking for. It is not that if just something is given to us, we're going to buy it. We definitely are giving you a very good price, a fixed price. Wherever the market goes up or down, you get that price. And this is exclusive for trained growers using CV Hydro's soilless turmeric growing system, which means you will have me help you in the consulting process, a lot of work, I mean, help in the agronomy process, although you will have an agronomist of your own. And the whole idea being that we will help you to steer your crop to genetic potential. But again, I would like to reiterate out here, this is not some kind of easy thing. This is not a walk in the park. This is not for the faint-hearted people. This is not for lazy people. This is not for people who want instant money and they think that, just put some technology in the land and press a few buttons and everything is going to happen. This is something for serious people, people who are disciplined, people who are process-oriented, and not somebody looking for some kind of easy, what you call, just press a few buttons and get answers. So I always tell people, before you get into this whole thing, think twice, because once you get in, you got to put all your effort. People ask me what is the return on investment. I say it is all dependent on the return on involvement. If you are able to involve yourself, be on the farm rather than sit in your home and give orders to a gardener and say, "Mali pani de dena, solpa neer kotbidi." That doesn't work like that, because the soilless agriculture is total science, and there is a lot of science which helps you to bring that turmeric to that world standard. So be warned that I've told you during this program, this is not for the faint-hearted. This is not for somebody who's looking for a stock market kind of money making, or real estate or any of this thing. You're working with live plants. They've got life in them. So do not at any stage think that I'm trying to tell you something very rosy. I never talk the rosy side of these things. I know only a few people who have got the courage to go through the entire 9-month cycle and give their best. Only such people are asked to come into this. Otherwise, please don't get into it. So this is not a run, fly by night scheme or anything. It's a very serious mission Haldrak, and we will continue as long as possible to make it better and better every year. So the thing is that we are looking forward to have soldiers in our mission. We are looking for warriors, because without you, if you don't produce for me, I cannot buy from you. So I need farmers to produce excellent quality turmeric under my guidance, and we all grow together, because I'm happy to give you a very good price. And I've got 2 prices actually, but I'll tell you when it's being shown to you by Rajiv. One price is, if I'm looking at selling your turmeric powder, packing it, branding it under CV Hydro's brand name, and selling it as a top quality turmeric powder, which will not be seen in this country. And we are offering a certain price. And during the year, during the run up to the harvest, which will happen somewhere in February 2026, I will also be working with certain importers from abroad. And during this time, if I know I will get them. If moment I get one or two importers from abroad who will pay much better price, I will actually increase the buyback price by 1.5 times and pay you more. But right now, as we speak, it will be for the domestic market, and 50,000 kilograms is no big deal for us to sell into this country, because 50,000, even if you sell 50,000 families 1 kg of turmeric, it can be used for almost the whole year. So we have our vision cut out, our mission cut out. We know exactly where we are going. All we want is that we want some really good growers who can come in and be a part of our team, because I cannot do this without you, and you cannot get that money without me. So it's a win-win situation. We are really, really working hard to bring this whole mission to the world. As you all know, many of you came through the Instagram link, I think. You saw we got almost 1.6 million views on that little reel of 90 seconds. And thank you for having watched it. But now your journey begins. All those who are serious will be allowed, there'll be a question time. And during that question time, you'll be allowed to ask your questions. And I'll be very happy to answer your questions. Just to give you a very small, I mean, this is a very excerpt of what the European Union standards, for example, are. If we are going to export turmeric to them, pesticide residues has to be within the maximum residue limits, which is now not in ppm, it is in ppb, parts per billion. So our job is really hard. But yes, because I don't use chemical pesticides, there's no question of any pesticide residue. There's no heavy metals at all. There's no lead, there's no cadmium, mercury, all these bad stuff like arsenic and God knows what. There's nothing in it. And we also have the test reports that we did in 2020 after we got our results from our own R&D, which Rajiv can be happy to share at some stage. And like I said, so mycotoxins, aflatoxin, ochratoxin, these are all horrible things that happen post-harvest. Ethylene oxide restrictions, people use all kinds of stuff to preserve turmeric and do all kinds of things, but these are all dangerous for human consumption. And there will be complete. So if I have a Mr. Pala Ram in, say, some part of India, in Madhya Pradesh, who's producing turmeric powder for me, when gets the packet of turmeric, there will be a QR code. When he scans the QR code, there will be complete traceability that this came from this farm in Madhya Pradesh. This is how it was produced. Even if for some reason to save the crop or the farmer was lazy and he had to use chemical pesticide, he might have used it once. And after the report, because over a period of time, the whatever that pesticide is there in the plant can get washed away. But if it's done too much, it will never go away. So everything, all detail. But one thing is sure, that your turmeric is not going to be even mentioned to the world if you don't do it the right way, and if you don't bring it to the standard. Our standards are matching with all European, American standards, and there's not going to be a compromise on that. So please don't at any time think, oh, I have produced 10 tons, so now CV sir is going to give me this much money. It will be tested. We will send our representative to your farm. When you're harvesting, there will be a lot of conditions. We'll be making all these, we are in the process of making all these conditions. So please bear with us. And first, we need to know how many of you are willing to join with us in this mission. Once we know how many are ready and they are committed, we will actually have another many sessions where we will prepare you to get to speed, because we have just about 2.5 months to go before the planting season begins. So the Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu is generally around the 15th of May. And as you go northwards, it keeps increasing. So in certain parts of India, some people even plant somewhere in mid-June. So that is as you go northwards. So what is the roadmap and how you can start? So to start commercial farming with our support, we are only looking for a maximum this year of 20 farmers doing 1 acre each at best, or 10 farmers doing 2 acres, whichever it is, but totally not more than 20 acres of turmeric growing, because that is all we can handle at this last minute. And those of you who miss this season can join a wait list with a small token of commitment, saying that, yes, I would like to go forward for the next season. There is a client of ours who's going to do 2 acres, but he's told us that he'll do it only in 2020, 2026, 27. So you can set up your practical growers learning program. So we have these, like I said, we have already got 17 small format growers growing in 500 and 1,000 square feet formats. Many of you who still might be a little worried, why, how can I go for commercial directly? You can join the 500 or 1,000 program, which is a complete consulting and educating program for you, remotely consulted for you. We've been running this whole thing for last 4 years, and this is now the 5th year. So you can join for that. At least about up to maximum 30 people we can take for this season. We cannot take more than that because we don't have the bandwidth because the logistics are, a hell of a lot of logistics is involved. So we will not be overarching ourselves this year. But based on what we see this year, for next year's season, we will be much more armed. Our team will be bigger, and we will be able to take maybe double or triple the number of people that we're taking in this season. So the opportunity is only for up to 20 farmers growing in 1 acre each. So we are looking at just that many number for the commercial, and for the small format, if anyone wants to learn, then it's up to 30 people and not beyond that. So there's also a 9-month on the farm training program, practical program, which will be held, which will be in Dharwar in North Karnataka, where we have a client and a customer, and you will be able to learn on the farm. If you want to be there and learn for whole of the 9 months during the entire crop cycle, you can learn if you like. So that of course comes with a cost, and that details can be given to you by Rajiv, if you can contact him separately on his WhatsApp. So in this format, we can take up to 50 people who can join and work on the farm, hands-on working on the farm, so that you know how a crop is grown over a 9-month cycle of turmeric. Or if you do a ginger, if it's ginger, it can also be 9 to 11 months at best. We also have a 3-day soilless turmeric workshop happening in 2025, but that will be only starting in July, because we normally do our boot camps or the 3-day soilless workshops only when we have a grower of our particular location who are able to show how they're growing their turmeric, and then our students can actually see during the boot camp what's happening. But right now, everywhere, all the growers have done their harvest, they're completed, there's nothing that we can show. So we don't conduct these boot camp 3 days workshops or boot camps till the month of July. We already have the dates and everything ready for the July, August, where we are going to do it. So that also Rajiv can share with you at some stage. So now this is your opportunity to do. If you want to get into commercial, then this is your buyback offers here, and you can access premium markets through us, obviously. So what have we done here? Basically, the whole thing is that most farmers say, okay, I will grow, but who will buy my stuff? How much will they pay me? So CB Hydro has taken this upon ourselves that, yes, the only way to convince people is not by telling them we'll find a buyer for you. We ourselves decided to become the buyer. We'll be the buyer. We'll do the marketing. We will sell, on-sell the product, and we'll create our brand. And all you need to do is to create, you give us high quality, world-class, beautiful turmeric, and that's how you begin this journey. So how you can start, like I said, there are limited spots. There are in all formats. The next boot camp dates will be given to you, and there is also going to be a very special discount on my consultancy fee, which is normally 7.5 lakhs plus 80% GST per acre. But I'll be giving it to all those who have attended this webinar. I'll be giving it to them at 6 lakhs plus 18% GST, which means I'm giving you 1.5 lakhs discount straight away. Anyway, so register now, start your journey, because the time is of essence. You need to get ready. You need to get your land ready. If you're getting into commercial or even small format, you need to get your structure ready and all that. That is where we come in. Sign a consulting agreement with us. We start giving you all the help. We'll also share with you something called my consultancy deliverables, which means most most consultants in this country, especially in agriculture, do not tell the client what to expect from the consultant. We will give you a 56 word bullet points of all the things I do for my client. And if you're willing to or want to go forward, we'll also share with you the draft consulting agreement. You can have a look at it, get in, and we can move forward. But again, as I said, time is of essence. We cannot take more than 20 farmers growing in maybe 1 acre each this year. So this business can give you almost 48% of your ROI back in the first year itself. You can break even in as much as just 2 or 2.5 years, which is really good for in agriculture. But provided, like I keep repeating, you have to do the right thing. So just don't get carried away by this words that I'm giving you, 2.5 years. Yes, you can, but provided you do the right thing. So your 100% involvement and investment in this smart business idea with a world-class product are two of the many other prerequisites to make your that kind of money. Yes, you can if you really do the right thing. There's no reason why you can't. This is a science. Science doesn't fail. What fails is the human. Most often, it is the human being who fails. Like so, Rajiv says, invest smart, work hard, and earn big. Your money deserves better returns. Yeah. So, like we say, grow for us, grow with us, and there is an opportunity for you to make anywhere between 20 to 50 lakhs per acre if you grow more and you can earn more. So basically, when we say 20 to 50 lakh, it is also depending on your what kind of yield you get. You can even the farmer who takes no interest will get at least 25 tons of turmeric from 1 acre, but that's not good enough to get you the right ROI. So the yield can be anywhere between 25 tons to as high as 80 tons if you do it right. But for that, you have to cooperate. You have to also work with me and listen to what I say and, well, not borrow my watch and tell me the time. So many times it happens that people take me as a consultant and they tell me how it should be done. So for the first 1 year, if you listen to me and do the right thing, there's no reason that you will not succeed. So again, we say absolutely zero pesticide. We are not tolerant to any kind of pesticides. So your work is going to be harder because when you use chemical pesticide, your job is easy because nothing can affect your plant when you heavily spray pesticides on them like many of our farmers do. So we are asking people not to use the pesticides. We only use microbes and various enzymes to control pest and disease. So there are many things that you need to remember when you get into this whole thing. So even if you don't have farming experience, we can have what do you call a program where we'll share all the videos with you. Our turmeric video bundles are there, practical video bundles are there, and if you have any doubts, we can conduct a webinar as we go for all those who sign up. Not for everybody, but only for those who sign up. We can definitely have this Q&A sessions happening once in a while, and yeah, so you can do it, provided that, like I said, in the first year you do what I say.
So you are not audible.
So I think I'm muted.
You're on.
Okay, so sorry for that. This happens with all this kind of technology, but anyway. So like I said, it's guaranteed buyback is there. But again, guaranteed buyback, there are always terms and conditions that you produce what I want. If you can do the right thing and give me the best quality turmeric powder, I'll be giving you a certain amount of money, which is really not too bad. And by the time you harvest, once I find some international importers, then I can even increase the buyback price by 1.5 times, which means a big jump in your net profit and your revenue for the first year itself. So guys, we are looking forward to having as many growers, because without you, this whole mission is not possible. If we cooperate and do the right thing, I see no reason why we cannot.
We can.
So this is what I wanted to tell you, and I'm happy to take your questions and answer you up to this point. And we will do a 10-minute Q&A session. We'll give 10 minutes for this whole procedure. And after 10 minutes is over and the Q&A session is completed, Rajiv will be showing you 2 screens, I think. One is the buyback, and
one is the 1 acre cost sheet.
Yeah.
And
one is the costings for 1 acre of turmeric, how much it is going to cost you. And the other will be the projections of potential of this business for those who get into this commercial format. So the floor is open to you, and Rajiv will coordinate the questions and answers, and he will he will give you an opportunity to ask questions. So please don't hesitate to ask any question. If I don't know the answer, I'll tell you I don't know, because maybe I just don't know. But in my so many years, I know mostly what the frequently asked questions are, and I'm happy to help.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing those insights and amazing stuff. While I load the spreadsheet, which will show you a 1 acre cost sheet and the projections, we can break into a 10-minute Q&A session like CV sir said. So all those who have any questions up till now can raise their hands and start asking their questions by unmuting yourself. I will call out the names, and you can unmute yourself and ask your questions to CV sir. And in the meanwhile, I'll bring the sheets up where we can look at some numbers also, because that's the most fascinating part of the session. And yeah, we are ready for the floor is open for Q&A session for 10 minutes. We would like to see some raised hands. Who's got questions? Yeah, anyone has a question as of now? You might want to raise your hands and ask your questions. I don't see any raised hands.
I have a question. I don't know how to raise a hand here. I don't see the option.
Okay. That's okay. Please go ahead with your questions.
Yeah, I have 2 questions. One is like, is a greenhouse mandatory for this, or can it be done in open house? And second thing is like the seed selection and all, right? Do you provide the support and the guidance in seed selections and the entire journey? Because for people like me who are the first timer, right? We don't have expertise here. We'll be seeking guidance from the people who are the experts in the market, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Avinash, thank you so much for asking that question. I'll take this question because these are general questions, and with CV sir, spending about more than 6 years with CV sir, I have been able to grasp on certain things. So I'll be happy to answer this one. So polyhouse is not recommended for this way or this method of growing, where CV sir will be teaching and recommending a lot of stuff, and all that is coming from his experience and especially the R&D that he completed. And based on that, we are recommending shade net structure. The top of the shade net should be white color shade net 50-50. The sides of the walls of the structure will be insect screen 40 mesh, and from the bottom up, from the ground bottom up, you'll have an apron, or it's also called as a skirting, which should be around 72 centimeters of polyfilm to prevent water getting inside the structure.
And for seed also, we'll give you.
The second question was about seed. Yes, we will definitely put you through to the right people in the market to get all the support that you need, which we are not able to provide you, because we have a scope of work. We have a certain business vertical that we operate with, and we are great at that. but there are certain things which we don't deal with. And we are very familiar with many vendors in the market, and we will definitely put you through. You also have the freedom of finding your own vendors, and you can share the quotations with CV sir. He can vet the quotations for you as part of the consulting process once you sign up for the consulting. And if there is anything unfair on the quotations, he will definitely guide you accordingly.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you. Who's going next? Yeah, Rocky, Sachin. Amit will take your question after this one. I see your hand in the chat room.
Yeah, hi. So I have a couple of questions. So the first question is, I just want to know that apart from like farmers market or CV Hydro, how can we like find our own vendors? Like to know like what's the market? Like I know like there is like pharmacy who can accept or like the local vendors, but how do we know that market to know what is the demand so that like we can be prepared that like okay, there is a requirement and this is what the produce we need to make.
See, the market is open. You can just simply go to the market and look for buyers. There are two different kinds of market. One is the regulated market or organized market, as they say, and the other one is the unorganized market, and it is clearly open. You'll have to go and network into different business groups and identify the buyer markets. So there are many ways of, you can also get in touch with a market research company uh, who can definitely find suitable buyers for you.
Okay. So is there like any government official website or like how do we identify this?
No, there are many websites. There are many government websites also, but they don't give you a direct source of a buyer. Okay, here is a buyer for you. You have.
There are a lot of importer-exporter databases and portals like Selena, Vamuchi, and very, very good portals which will tell you who are the importers of high-quality turmeric and everything. And you can, but for that, obviously, I think they don't do it free for you. They give you only limited information. But if you're willing to subscribe to their thing, you can get some really valuable information. And they have excellent information about the export import of various products around the world, not just turmeric or ginger. So I mean that is a part of your marketing effort. If you think that in the first year you don't want to get into that hassle of marketing and this and that, then you can sell it to us. If you feel that you're getting even a much better price than what I'm offering, you're most welcome to go and sell it to anywhere in the market. It doesn't that's open to you.
Okay, thank you. So the other question is like, I know like curcumin content or the percentage is always the biggest concern. And what we are targeting right now is to have a good curcumin level. So I know there is certain level which the pharma levels will accept. Probably I
Yeah,
believe it's around 6+ or something, right?
I
So is
agree.
there a variety which is mandatory to choose, like the variety of the crop? Like I know there is Lucknow and Salem and Kasturi and so many other varieties. So is there any specific variety which we choose in order to reach that goal?
No, say first and foremost, if you want to sell your curcumin, you should have 5% and above curcumin. And Lacadong cannot be expected to do well like it does well in Meghalaya and any other part of the country. So if you really want to do it and do it well, you must go to Meghalaya and set up your project, because among all the varieties of turmeric in India, the 52 commercial varieties, that particular variety of Lacadong grows mostly in cold and humid condition. So rest of the turmeric grows in hot and humid conditions. So we have done Lacadong and we have also tested it out. But unfortunately, we got our seeds late in 2020 because of the lockdown. And I didn't feel it worth sending my Lacadong turmeric. I got good yield, but I didn't send it for testing for turmeric, curcumin. So the other thing is that to get good quality seed rhizome is the most important thing, because everything starts with the seed. If the seed quality is not good, it can be a great variety which gives great curcumin content. But if you get worst quality rhizomes for seeding, then it's not going to make any sense. That is where we come in. And for one, I'm looking at selling it as turmeric powder. In turmeric powder, it doesn't matter whether your curcumin is above 4-5 or not. And if you want to sell your turmeric just for the curcumin content to extraction companies, then 1 acre is not enough, because 10 tons is nothing for a the big extractor like Synthite or Lipid Profiles. These are big companies in the country which import almost 100,000, 150,000 tons from Vietnam and other places. So if you want to go for curcumin, the right thing to do would be to do in large acreages. But then since you're starting off and you're new to the whole field, we would not ask you to start so big, because we don't want you to overarch yourself and go into a loss or something like that. So you start small and slowly scale up. That's the right thing to do. And curcumin powder, turmeric powder in the market itself has a fantastic price, especially in the European markets. It's got a great price. So even in India, people are selling organic curcumin, but I really don't know. I have no test reports or anything, but I've heard that people are selling turmeric powder even as high as 600 to 800 rupees a kilogram. So, well, if I look at it this way, that by selling your curcumin, selling your turmeric as turmeric powder to me itself is giving you a decent return. So this would be a better start, as what we suggest to everybody.
Okay,
Hope
so
that
as an
answers your
add-on,
question.
yeah, so as an add-on question to this, right? I know you told me that it's 1 hour is not enough if I want to do a curcumin extraction, right? So I'm thinking about an hybrid model of using a Israel technology along with a polyhouse, not just a shade net. In that way, I
No,
can get at least
you can,
uh,
you can,
more
and
yield.
you must understand something. All crops don't grow well under a polyhouse, and this Israeli technology, whatever I am doing for last 17 years is Israeli, same Israeli, Australian, all the same technology only. So we have tested when we did our R&D in 2020 on turmeric. I've grown it in polyhouse condition, open to the sun condition. I've grown it in shade net houses of 3 colors, black, green, and white. And we got the best result in a shade net house with highest yield and quality by using a simple shade net. So if there is a problem that's happening in this country, people keep thinking that anything and everything you put inside a polyhouse structure will grow. It's not like that. First of all, before you choose a structure, you should first understand which crop you want to grow, and you should also understand which environment you're in. These two factors once known, then you choose the right structure. So from our R&D, and so far we've been getting great results. We just use a simple shade net structure, and the price of a shade net is just about half of what a polyhouse would be. So this is what we suggest. But yes, if somebody still wants to go ahead and do it, but the reason why polyhouse structures don't work well, especially in very hot environments, although it is a naturally ventilated polyhouse, the time taken for the hot air to escape and the cooler air to come in, normally we say that the air exchange should be at least 40 to 60 times in an hour. And that really does not happen always. And all the heat builds up on the canopy of the crop, and it affects the photosynthesis. One of the most important things in turmeric and ginger, or for that matter, any plant, and especially here we are talking about turmeric, is that the canopy should not get too hot. If it gets too hot, it affects the photosynthesis. If the photosynthesis is affected, the production of primary metabolites like starches, enzymes, sugars, carbohydrates will get affected. And after 4.5 months, if you don't get excellent vegetative growth with highest amount of total radiation sun or sunlight, there will be hardly anything that the plant can transfer to the root zone for the growth of rhizomes. So if the heat is too much, the yield. So from my experience, my R&D, the polyhouse, when I grew in a polyhouse, I did not get half the yield as I got in shade net structure.
Okay. So any
Hope that
opinion
answers.
on the vertical farming and the regular farming, the shade net
Vertical
or
farming,
polyhouse?
vertical farming of turmeric is an insult to agriculture.
Yeah, Rocky, we'll go dive into that. We would like to take questions one by one. There are people waiting with their hands raised. So we'll do vertical farming very, very soon. Kamal Palleji, please ask your question.
Yeah, hi sir. As we are using coco pit, how it will this type of shade net will it protect from rain? I mean, how the coco pit will be affected by rain in this scenario?
The turmeric grows through 3 seasons. It grows through the latter half of the summer season. It grows through the entire monsoons. and it goes through the initial onset of winter. So when you make your shade net structure, we will tell you all that, how to go about it. It is too much to tell on this particular thing, but suffice to say that you have to have a good amount of slope made from one end to the other, so that even the rainwater will get washed to the end and go out of the net house structure. There are ways and means to avoid what do you call water logging and other things. That is a part of the consulting that is beyond the purview at the moment of this particular meeting.
Thank you, sir. Amit Patleji, sorry, you were next, but I couldn't go back to chat and the other queue. So Amit Patleji, please ask your question.
Thank you very much, sir, for allowing me to put my question. Sir, 2-3 questions I have right now. The very first question is, how will the buyback arrangement will be made? And how
You
will the
ask one question at a time, Amitji.
All right, sir.
Yeah,
How
go
will
ahead.
how will the buyback arrangements will be made, sir?
The buyback arrangement will be made is when you decide and sign up a contract with us that you're going ahead with your 1 acre or whatever commercial growing. At that point in time, we will sign the buyback consulting agreement, and we'll also give you a very intensive, maybe 20-30 page contract for buyback, which will give clearly the conditions under which buyback will be done. It will have to be tested at a laboratory for many parameters. It's a little bit of work that you got to do and prove to me that yes, what you're trying to sell to me has met the demands of that particular buyback arrangement. So it is not that you just simply send me 10 or 20 tons and say, hello, good morning, here's 20 tons I've sent you, now give me my money. It's not going to work that way. It is going to work very professionally, and there is no question. If your product is good, you get your money straight away, and there's no reason why you will not get that, have that buyback happen. For that to achieve a buyback, you really have to work well. You have to definitely, especially for people who are new to this, have to really listen to me, because if you listen to me, it is a win-win for both. It's a win for me, it's a win for everybody. But many times it happens, people sign up with me and then they say, I know more than you. Then what can I do? I cannot do anything to help such people.
Okay, sir.
Amit, you go ahead. Question.
So, sir, the signing up for contract will be just before the seedling time.
As of yesterday, Amit ji.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're already on May. Today, as we speak, we are on the March 8th. And
yes, sir.
Yeah, but we do have a timeline for you, for this group who has joined on this paid webinar. Not much, but we will definitely give you a timeline before which, if you are interested, if you're convinced with the next display of numbers, which is what everybody enjoy watching and having in the bank accounts. So 15th of March would be the deadline for any interested or aspiring growers who would like to claim this buyback offer from CV Hydro. The arrangement formalities will definitely be executed in a professional manner. We are a private limited company and we've been in the business for a long time. So we know how to make those arrangements. There's no question and no doubts about that. The question is, are you guys ready to move forward to start growing residue-free soilless turmeric and deliver the powder meeting the EU standards? That is the question. Are you ready? So Amit ji, we'll come to that 15th of March. फिलहाल आपको डेट ध्यान में रखिएगा कि कंसल्टिंग एग्रीमेंट उससे पहले हमें जो है साइन अप करना है. इस ग्रुप के लिए ये टाइमलाइन है, क्योंकि हमारे पास वक्त बहुत कम है. वक्त कैसे निकल जाता है किसी को पता नहीं चलता है. तो next question if you have, or else I can move to somebody else.
So, sir, the consultancy signing up will be required for the next season also, if we want to move ahead.
No. Okay. Only for cycle. If after first cycle you still need a consultant, that means you're not worked hard.
Yeah. All right, sir. Thank you very much.
Your teacher in school, sir, till I get married or beyond that, till I get job or after I get job, will you be with me only? So when the teacher is teaching, learn well. And then after the learning is over, then you just have to remember teacher on Teacher's Day.
Okay, sir.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Next.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Amit ji. Xiaomi M210K7B1. We don't know your name. Please unmute yourself and ask your question. Your name.
Yeah, it's me, sir. Thank you for my turn. I'm Tanmay Sharma from Maharashtra, Pune. My question is, as CV sir told us that the buyback offer, but in this offer, which variety yeah, you prefer or you suggest, as I am a beginner? So for a training period or initial, just like we have a period, 3 months of period training period. So which variety you suggest us to continue, as our Maharashtra environment is like little bit humid and hot air, hot temperature area. So, is it possible in the summer temperature in Maharashtra is around 40 degrees Celsius? So, is it okay to start turmeric in such areas?
We have grown turmeric in areas where turmeric has never been grown. Bangalore, where I did my research and development in 2020, was with a variety called Salem variety. And this variety I grew in a place where 200 kilometers radius of Bangalore, there is no turmeric belt or turmeric growing area. That is where we got this result of 8.17 kilograms from a single grow bag. What we did was basically we did the right thing. Like we addressed what does turmeric like? It likes shade. It's a shade loving plant, so we gave it shade. We understood that it likes a bit of warmer temperatures, and it likes humidity. We did that and we got the result. Then we had a grower somewhere sitting in Noida. Noida is, where in UP, which goes to almost 47 degrees in summer. Even there, our grower achieved close to 5 kilograms per grow bag for the first time. So your Maharashtra is also a place where turmeric grows. So many places in Maharashtra you grow turmeric. So there's no problem. You can grow. Which part of Maharashtra are you from?
Nasik, Nasik, Maharashtra.
Oh, beautiful. A beautiful place. What a beautiful place. So
Yeah,
many things grow in Nashik.
yeah,
Yeah. There's
yeah.
nothing to worry. It can be grown.
Yeah. Which variety you prefer? If we start as a beginner, actually, I am
See,
from a mechanical engineer background,
it
so I
doesn't
don't
matter.
know how to.
It doesn't
Okay.
matter. It doesn't matter. What we normally say is grow whatever local varieties are grown around your area, like Vaigaon, Rajapuri. There are so many varieties which are specifically grown in Maharashtra. So you can pick up local varieties and commercial local varieties and grow them much better using the soilless method of growing. Got it? You get it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. However,
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
what I'm looking at is I also have a very large number of farmers growing in South Karnataka, closer to the borders of Kerala and Tamil Nadu, in areas like Gundlpet, Chamarajnagar and all, where they grow the Pratibha variety. And the Pratibha variety, one good thing is it normally gives between 5 to 7% curcumin as well, and it is also makes for very good powder. And the last boot camp that we did was in a grower's place in Bangalore, and he grew Pratibha, and that Pratibha amazingly beautiful. So you can grow Pratibha also. It will definitely grow well in your area. You can even grow Salem turmeric, which is from Erode in Tamil Nadu. That is also okay. And there are a lot of like Vaigaon and Rajapuri, and there are many other varieties which are very specific to Maharashtra. Those also can be grown. So we'll help you with the Pratibha guys, because Pratibha has shown very good results. And I'm looking at trying to buy Pratibha variety for only one reason, that I want to have a standardization in my curcumin powder that I sell to the market.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tanmay. Mukesh, so I have some people raising hands in chat room, and some people are raising hands from the normal button. So I'm swinging between two rooms here. So I'm going to take one question from here and one question from there. So I want to go to Sudhir Dandamudi ji and Mukesh ji. I'll come back to you next. Mukesh ji, you're the next one. Sudhir ji, please ask your question.
Yeah, we are new to this field. Do you have a facility like we provide land, water, infrastructure, everything? Do you have farm managers or something like that who can grow and take it back?
Pardon me, you were expecting somebody to run your farm?
Yeah, yeah.
No, we don't have such kind of a facility. We expect that the person who is putting his money in his land and investing should be the first person to reach the farm every morning and not leave it to employees as such. Because when you do that, you will end up sometimes in a large loss, because employees are employees. They'll just say, they'll raise their hand and say this happened. But the money, you will be the one who loses the money.
Yeah.
So
No.
we advise people who put
Not audible. Hello.
I think you have muted again.
Yeah. Hello.
At the same,
especially in soilless farming, I would say, and where it's not like growing sugar. Sugarcane is a different kind of crop. We call it a lazy man's crop. But this is somewhere in this kind of soilless farming. We expect that the person who is actually putting his money, or his family member who is part of that family, who's there the money is coming from, they definitely have to be on that farm day in and day out. If you're not going to do that, you're going to have trouble, because employees are employees, and for them it's a job. At the end of the day, they say, sir, we went into loss, you can't do much. Maximum you get angry and throw him out, and he'll find another job, because there are plenty of jobs for agronomists around in the country. So we don't have the bandwidth to go sit and look after farms and those kind of things. But yes, if you are able to advertise and get resumes of agronomists and others, I can definitely help in choosing them for you. I can interview them. I've done that hundreds of times. I can go as far as that to help you out.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
No
Yes,
worries.
I think we have a perfect leader out here with us. Guru Prasad ji is with us, and I think he was here with us for a long time, and he might be want to leaving very soon. So, sir, would you like to bring in Guru and to ask him to share his thoughts about, as a farm owner, how he experiences aligned with Sudhir ji's question?
Yeah, so I have Guru Prasad from Karamade, Coimbatore, and he has joined our small format 1,000 square feet program for 2025, 26. He was there at my boot camp about a month and a half back, and Guru has gone forward and he wants to learn. So he said, sir, I'll start with 1,000 square feet. I'll learn for 1 year and then I'll go commercial. So I can ask Guru to say a few words and tell what has been your journey, Guru, so that others also know what motivated you to or what motivated you to start this 1,000 square feet and move on in this journey. And what do you see in turmeric and other things? Yeah, if we give you 2 or 3 minutes, can you quickly tell the audience so that they also know, okay, somebody's been through my boot camp and things like that? Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk to this cohort. My name is Guru Prasad, and I'm a hydroponics practitioner. I run a small hydroponics facility here at Coimbatore, and our location is where the 3-month training program is currently being held. So I chose to partner with CV Hydro because I found his mentorship to be very practical. His emphasis on skills rather than obsessing over the numbers on an Excel sheet was what convinced me to go with Prakash sir. Soilless farming, to be honest, is no easy task. It's not a walk in the park. But do not let that stop you. and don't be overwhelmed. It's very important to start with the right mindset and getting a good view of the lay of the land. And that's what and that's where Prakash sir does. Comes in, and he does this really well. His teaching style focuses on stretching your capabilities and not your hopes. Uh, his team is not only stopping at teaching hydroponics, but is also offering you the market linkages, which is vital. And this has no other vendor in India I can think of who does this. And it's been a fruitful partnership so far. And we are planning to make this ecosystem bigger. So more and more growers like you can come on board and make this a successful movement. So, people who are on the fence, start small, like Sir said, and I'm sure you'll reach great heights with his mentorship, with him by your side. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Guru. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Guru.
Yeah. Moving on to the next question. Mukesh ji, please ask your question.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, CV sir.
Hello.
So I'm from Nizamabad, Telangana.
Oh, wonderful.
So I have the query about setup of this thing. Like, as I can see, there are like 40 lakhs involved in it. So we have some kind of subsidies over there from NHB kind of. So will it be linked to that, or this will be like our own investment?
See, when we did our costings, we have not taken any subsidies and all into account. We've been on a journey for the last 5 years trying to find out who are the guys who can give quality net houses of 1 acre or whatever sizes. We found a very interesting company, and the price that they are offering is a tremendously good price. And Rajiv will show you on the when we talk about it on the screen. We'll be explaining everything. So we've got a person who's able to do it for just about, if I'm right, it's 13 lakhs 23,000.
Yeah.
So we've been able to find a person who can do it at that low cost, and that cost is including GST. And if you have a company and a GST number, you will be able to get back that almost 18% GST. So that's the best we have been able to do. And so whatever pricing and everything is there, that pricing is an estimate here, mostly estimates, and prices, in the market for various things can keep changing. Like right now, the cocoa peat cost is sky high, and it is expected to come down by March end or so, because there's a shortage of raw material in the market. And cocoa peat, you can get cheap cocoa peat, but again, like I say, there are 4 very important pillars in soilless agriculture, 4 non-compromisable factors, which is: one is seed, one is nutrient quality, one is water quality, and one is the media quality. If any one goes wrong, you'll be in trouble. So there is no question of anyone trying to cut corners on any one of these. And we supply to our growers certain materials, because we have used these standard materials. We have curated them over time, and they work very beautifully. Like just now, when Guru spoke to you, he will also be getting a small kit where he'll be starting off. The only thing is, there are some things which we don't supply you, like rhizomes. We'll point you to the vendors who sell seed rhizomes. We'll point you to the shade house manufacturers, and we will give you everything that is high quality, so that there's no question of compromise. So that when the material is fine, then it's the next thing is the human has to do the right thing, and there's no question of not succeeding. Like I said, the science never fails, the humans fail. I hope I answered your question.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, do you have any more questions?
Yeah, that's all.
Thank you. Sajid Narayan Das, please ask your question. Vishal Singh ji, back to you. Sajid ji, please ask your question.
Yes, sir. So, hi, sir. I'm from Karnataka, Bangalore. Also, first time, trying this out. So, my question is primarily on the Excel sheet, sir. So, you've mentioned shade house without foggers and drip. So, I just wanted to understand this 47 lakh which you've projected out there. Is there any spike based on any climatical condition of, sometimes, we might need to put foggers, drips, is that going to be a bigger price?
I mean, see what is important is when you guys are planning to, if you're planning to move ahead, one of the first question I'm going to ask you is what is your environment? Where do you come from? What is your height above mean sea level? What is your humidity levels in that area? What is your general temperature variations in your area? What is the precipitation or rainfall in your area? Based on that, there is no one size fits all answer for everybody. So I'll guide you what should be the right things that you need. Like, for example, if you're in a hot and very humid place, or let's say along the coastline, using a fogger will not make any sense. You will only increase the humidity and damage the plant. So it depends on where you are. And based on that, I will give you the right input. And if you need that, you need that. Because if you say, oh, I don't want to spend that money, then obviously your crop is going to suffer. So if you want to get into it, you have to put everything right. If you put like, it's like, in a car or a motorbike or anywhere, you can get aftermarket parts. But yes, aftermarket parts are not guaranteed. So that's where we go many times wrong. It's better to put the original stuff so that you have peace of mind. So that's what we recommend. And based on your location, various things, that's what happens once we start consulting.
Okay,
Hope that answers your question.
Right. Just one more question, sir, on that Excel sheet. You have this consultation service and agronomist both mentioned out there, right? Is both required, or your consultation will also include, the agronomist part of it, or do we need to have this agronomist?
You see, as a consultant, I'm not on your farm every day. Okay. Yeah. But an agronomist, especially if you're very new to soilless agriculture, you definitely need to have somebody who's got either a BSc in agri or an understanding of crop science. So that is the person who will be there on ground with you at all times. Yeah, every day he'll be there with the crop. And he will be running the show there for you. And if you have time, rather, I would always suggest, if you have the time, please be with him. So you also learn. After a year is over, you can throw your agronomist out and will save that money. So you'll save 3,60,000 rupees. You will save. And because that is what you should be doing, not just put your money and, not you, but anybody should not just put his money and stay hundreds of kilometers away and come once in a month to see what's happening. That's not the right way. But ideally, if you have an agronomist, if you also are there every day on the farm, you will learn a lot of things. At the end of the day, you don't need an agronomist.
Yeah, Sajidji, thank you for asking that question. In a way, that sheds a light on for cost saving for all those who are interested to do it on their own, being involved on the farm. So you can definitely save 3,60,000. That's a big savings.
And the best part is in consultancy services, which you will take of mine. Although you have an agronomist, that agronomist will be reporting to me 64 different parameters, and without fail, he'll be giving me feedback literally on a daily basis. And lack of feedback will create problems, because if he tells me that something's gone awfully wrong at the stage when nothing can be done, it's very hard to help. So I actually not only just help you with getting your project up to speed and started, but I also have I'm a farmer myself, and I've farmed all these crops like turmeric, ginger. So if the agronomist is not understanding something, that's where I step in and I give him help on a daily basis. So my idea is how to steer your crop to genetic potential. Hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you, sir. That's it.
Thank you. Vishal Singh ji, please ask your question.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. Now, first one is that I have got a poly house and I come from Agra. So will polyhouse give us the same yield what you will recommend, or we will have to set up a net house for this to start?
I don't know if you heard me answer a question that somebody else asked just a few minutes ago. He said, if I do it in a poly house, would it be better, or what should I do? I already said that I have done this research in different conditions. One is absolutely open to the sun. That means no covering, no cladding, no nothing. Then I've done it in net houses of 3 colors, black, green, and white. I've also tried it in a poly house, but the best result comes from a net house because you don't have heat buildup like what happens inside a poly house. If any of you have been into poly houses during the summertime, especially in the peak summers, you will see the temperature is so high you can't stand inside. in spite of foggers, in spite of things, many times you can't even stand inside because the temperature inside is much higher than the outside temperature. What happens is when the temperatures are higher, go higher inside the polyhouse, and there is lack of escape of hot air for whatever reasons, what will happen is there will be a buildup of heat, and that heat is going to affect the physiology of the plant. It can create a lot of problems by stress, physiological stress. On the one hand, it also interferes with the photosynthesis. Photosynthesis in the first 4.5 months in ginger or turmeric is of prime importance. If the heat is too much, the photosynthetic processes will not happen, and you will not get the production of primary metabolites, which is basically called as photosynthetic assimilates. And these assimilates, once the vegetative growth is over and it is completely there in the plant, and you got lots of leaves and leaf width, leaf length, and they've got lots of total radiation, some photosynthetically active radiation, then it starts to send this food which produces, slowly translocates the food into the rhizome growth. That means it sends it down to the root zone. That is why by the time you reach 7.5 months or so, you will find your leaves will start becoming brown and they become dry. But that is not a sign of any disease. It is basically telling you that all the food produced in the process of photosynthesis and the production of assimilates of photosynthesis are now going for rhizome growth. So if you put a polyhouse just thinking that it will save the plant from rain, it is not going to work like that. It is only going to give you lesser yield. But well, when I consult, and if somebody insists that I am going to use polyhouse, then I won't consult, because I know what can happen. So I will never want to have to be consulting knowing that somebody has started on the wrong foot. So my advice would be that you start with a simple shade net structure of white color. That is the one that gave the best results. So this is what I have to say.
Okay, thank you. The two additional question is is you are buying the, I mean, is the processing cost, we have to set up something, or is it you will take care of that?
Yeah, Vishalji, thank you for asking that question. And since we've answered many questions, we'll take a break here from the Q&A session, and we'll look at the numbers, because the question that you've asked is related to something that we would like to show it to you. So the first sheet, this sheet is also shared on the Google Drive link, which is with everybody. You can also go through it again. This first sheet talks about the 1 acre cost estimates. This is not the accurate or exact numbers, but this is fairly the estimate. And the second sheet is buyback commercial projection. This is a projected number wherein what you will get if you deliver residue-free soilless turmeric powder to CV Hydro. The pricing, now if you look at this table on the top, you see in the B cell, in the B column, there is this amount mentioned. It is initial investment. We've only assumed that 40 lakhs is the minimum that would be initial investment. But if you look at the 1 acre cost sheet, that is showing 47 lakhs, 48,000, because there are some additional costs. If you are yourself involving, then we can save this cost. So like that, apart from the 4 non-negotiable cost items, there are certain other areas where you can try to manage the cost and bring it down to 40 or 45 lakhs, wherever it finally arrives at. But for now, for the sake of illustration, for the sake of this projection, we have used the minimum initial investment of 40 lakhs on this table. Then we have line number 5 shows the line number 4 shows you the season 1, 2, 3, 4 seasons, basically.
4 years.
Which is 4 years. And because the crop cycle is 9 months. Line number 5 shows you the actual number of grow bags that can be kept and that are ideal in 1 acre, which is 8,250 grow bags. Line number 6 is operational cost yearly. This is also a very broad number. It can be a less and it can be a little slightly more also. But we have arrived at an assumption of 7,50,000 at a broader level. And average wet yield per grow bag is 6, entered in all the fields under the 4 years. We entered 6 because in the last 5 years, we have arrived at a conclusion that the minimum yield one can get average per grow bag is 6. And with CV Sir's support for the entire consulting process and with your involvement, we would definitely aim at more than 9 or 10 kilos, and somewhere hit between somewhere maybe beyond 10 also. So that is the ambition. But for the sake of calculation, we are doing it very conservatively with the average wet yield per grow bag, which is kept at 6 based on the research that we've done in the last and the work that we've done with all the growers who joined us. It is 6 average per kilo per grow bag. Total total wet yield per acre. So this is the number which we get by multiplying grow bags into the yield per grow bag. So that is about 49,500 kilos of wet turmeric. That's what you harvest after 9 months. The wet to dry recovery ratio in line number 9 is 20%. It is a general number. 5:1 is also the other way of putting it across. So if you dry 49,500 kilos and you are left with 9,900 kilos of dry turmeric, which you have to grind, which is actually post-harvest processing activities. So drying can be done without any automation. You have solar, you have sun, God, our country is blessed with sun. So you can definitely use sun God's blessings to dry your wet harvest. I said there is no cost involved for that. But yeah, for converting that into powder, we are assuming a 5 kilos per kilo, 5 rupees per kilo as the cost for grinding. Sorry, please be on mute. Let me just finish this off and I'll come into Q&A session again. So the cost of processing, which means grinding the dry material into so the processing cost, which is the grinding cost, is 5 rupees per kilo. So the next line is basically export final buyback pricing at 300 rupees per kilo. If we are selling to export markets, if we have an export buyer, then this is the pricing that you can expect from CV Hydro. But initially, we are focusing on the domestic market because we want to sell our produce to our own country first, and that pricing is 200 rupees per kilo. That is what we would be giving you as the buyback price per kilo. Then below line number 14 onwards till 25th, it is basically calculating based on the inputs above. All the fields with yellow numbers are the numbers that you can change and see how it arrives or how it appears for you. But this is the best that we have projected for you. And you can play around the numbers if you want to. So the next in the calculation line, the line number 16 shows you the total processing cost, which is 49,500, which is 9,900 multiplied by 5 rupees processing cost. Total yearly cost is basically operational cost plus your processing cost. And the total revenue is basically your export domestic pricing multiplied by the dry powder that you're selling. And then total net profit is your revenue minus total yearly cost. So that's the flow of this workup, this calculation that we have come up with to project what you can expect in the year number 1. So if you look at, if you sell, if you go for this buyback offer from CV Hydro at 200 rupees per kilo, in the first year, your domestic revenue is 19,80,000. In the next subsequent years, we are trying to increase our pricing for you because we are considering here, we are presuming here confidence in the market, the trust in the market because of how we performed in the first year. And we would definitely want to keep on incrementing it to a greater heights. So in the next year, the price that we want to offer you is 210 rupees per kilo. Subsequently, in the third year, we want to offer 220 rupees. That's how we want to play in the domestic market along with you. So in that case, if you look at the domestic revenue for the second year is 20 lakhs, the third year is 21 lakhs, and the fourth year is 22 lakhs. I'm not counting to the last 1 rupee. I'm just rounding it off here at a very conservative level. Now, if you consider the net, the domestic revenue here, based on the domestic revenue, you have invested 40 lakhs. The break even in years in domestic, if you look at the first year, it is 2 years. It's little over 2 years. and your initial investment, you'll be breaking into your profits, a significant amount of profits in your third year based on your domestic revenue. And this is just a gist of it. I'm going to leave this with you. We have already shot up beyond our scheduled time. We are okay to stay back and answer your questions as long as you are satisfied and you go back with a feeling of, okay, this was really invaluable for me. So in the interest of time, I'm not going to explain this table more. I hope this gave you a glimpse of what we are projecting, and I will again break into a Q&A session right now. So coming back to your question, Vishalji.
Yes.
Would you like to ask a follow-up question to this? Because you asked a processing cost related question.
Yeah, you said they're drying out so much of quantity. Do we have to set up something, or it's like there's a cost involved? Because you said 5 rupees. That's just the operational
No.
cost of
See,
managing.
when we are saying 5 rupees is basically, if you got say 10,000 kg of dry powder, dry turmeric, then drying it in the sun is the best way to dry it. That's how normally it's dried. So we've taken 5 rupees, but if you change that 5 rupees to even 10 rupees or even 15 rupees, you can see it doesn't really affect too much of your
break even
in years, or it's a very marginal change in your revenue for that year.
Okay. And the follow-up question was, this is transport. What is the transport involved? Do we have to ship it to you guys in Bangalore, or where is it? How does it?
No, that we are now contemplating between 3 different parts of this country. In South India, we are right now not sure of where we are going to have our packing and production facility and all that. That will be known in the subsequent months. So it will be somewhere in Bangalore, or it might be even in Tamil Nadu.
So we have to pick up the transportation cost?
Yeah, you'll have to send it to us, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll go, if you don't have any more questions, I'll go to somebody else. Is that okay? I'll take that as a no. Yes, Akhilji, please ask a question. Akhilji has lowered his hand. Nutan Patilji, please ask your question.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello. I'm from Akola, Vidarbha region of Maharashtra.
Okay.
In past 2-3 years, we are continuously experiencing cloud burst and very high winds, like storm condition in summer or maybe winters. So the net house sustain that situation, or
Yes,
it will get damaged?
You see, as per the government rules, all net houses, shade houses, poly houses, and any structures should withstand a minimum of 120 to 130 kilometer per hour wind speed. Do you get that kind of wind speed there?
Yes.
130 kilometer per hour?
No, not 130, around 40 to 60 kilometer per hour.
Oh yeah, then there's no problem at all. You see, the net houses in India stipulate the wind speed stipulated by the government of India for any of these kind of structures is up to 130 kilometers per hour.
Okay.
And if you are getting up to 60, 70, definitely these shade houses and others can withstand those conditions.
And some cloud bursts are there in last 2-3 years. Very heavy rainfall.
Yeah. I told you, turmeric goes through the entire rainy season in the soil. So they don't mind the rain. What it minds is if there is water logging. So that is why we have to make your shade net. Before that, you have to level your land. You'll have to create a good slope of at least 2 to 5 degrees, so that excess water goes away to one corner and escapes from the net house.
Okay. And one question I have also. We are taking as the organic turmeric. So the seed should be from an organic one also, or it's not necessary?
No, we never say that. We never say that we are organic, because we are not. We are considered pariahs in the industry because we use water soluble fertilizers. Say, for example, when you use calcium nitrate or potassium nitrate, this potassium nitrate is not a poison. It is being extracted from the earth only. Why we are not considered organic is for the simple reason that it goes through a process in the factory to remove impurities. so that you get the maximum amount of dissolved salt in the water. But we never tell the world that we are organic. What we tell people is we are heavy metal free, pesticide residue free, and we are microbiological contamination free. Now, these three things taken care of, it won't have affect human health in any way. Yes, of course, if you overdo the fertilizer, obviously there will be excess salt, but we don't do that. So during the entire cycle of the crop, we keep increasing the electrical conductivity, which means increasing or adding more salt as per the growth of the plant. But a time comes, even that after the 8th month, we stop giving any irrigation and we'll allow the entire grow bag to dry out. So in the process, what happens is turmeric and ginger are heavy feeders. What they do is whatever is available in the media, they will gobble it up, and that is the end of story. So there will be no excessive salt in causing any problem to anybody.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Nutan. Akhil, please ask your question.
Hi, good evening. Thank you so much. I have a couple of questions. First, for CV, so you were mentioning that it's possible to grow in hot and humid climates in coastal areas. I'm actually from Chennai. Just wanted to understand if it would be possible and what would it entail growing in a humid environment like Chennai. It's hot and humid most of the time.
Yeah, so if you have got hot and humid conditions, turmeric or ginger will be very thankful to you.
Okay.
Number one. And if you give it a shade house structure, it will say further thanks to you. And it will give you results that sometimes, blow your mind. What you will not need to do is not to have foggers in Chennai, because Chennai always has high humidity.
Yes.
Most of the year. So, yeah. So what happens is there in such places where it is hot and humid, instead of putting foggers, you can put circulating fans.
Okay.
Circulating fans. And you can use those to move the humid air around so that it doesn't settle on the crop. So those are the circulating fans or horizontal axial flow fans. These are fans that are used normally in hot and humid conditions. So in your area, if you're doing this project, then you would be advised not to use foggers. You would be advised to just use circulating fans.
Understood. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
The second question is I do want to sign up for the buyback, do I need to take the consultation, or if I take the 3-day boot camp, that's enough? Like, how does it work out?
You can take the 3-day boot camp, which will be in July, but you would have missed this year's season.
Okay, right.
Yeah, because the planting time for Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Maharashtra is generally by the mid of May or maximum by the end of May.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sorry, again, related to this question for planting. It's only a one-time plant and a one-time harvest. There's no way of doing staggering planting through the year. Like if we plant, say, in July and get an output 7 months later, plant in December and get an output 7 months later.
No, it doesn't work like that, because all crops, all seeds of whether they are rhizomes or just seeds, they all have something called dormancy, seed dormancy.
Okay.
And yes, so if you say, for example, if you plant in right now in March, the sprouting will not happen till around May first week or mid-May. So you're not going to achieve anything out of it. It is just that, in fact, the chances of more disease are also there by planting it there and just watering it, but not getting any result. So there is no question of staggered planting. All crops have respond to the conditions that they love. And in this case, turmeric loves to be planted somewhere in mid-May, or in your part of the world, in Chennai, or if it is Orissa or Andhra, then it can be even in first week of June. So there is no question of trying to beat the market, to plant at the wrong time. It won't give you results.
Okay.
It has to go through those phases. Like I said, turmeric has to go through a bit of summer, the whole of rainy season, monsoon. It has to go through 1 or 2 months of the onset of winter. That is how this whole crop behaves the way it behaves and gives the right result.
Understood, sir.
Yeah.
And my last question, if you don't mind me asking,
no, you can ask any number of questions.
As CV Hydro, how many acres do you all have of turmeric cultivation?
No, we don't do. We are not into growing anymore. We are into helping people to grow because we've already done the research part of it. We have done programs for the last 4 years. We've had small format growers around the country. We are trying to. We are not teaching you something that we ourselves have not done. We are here to help growers to grow right. We are into a buyback. We are ready to sign a buyback arrangement provided you give us the right stuff. We are trying to create the whole chain because today the chain is not complete. There are farmers who grow beautiful stuff, but they don't have a market. Or if they have a market, it's not their market, it is a middleman's market. So the thing is that we also have been looking around for buyers, for people who grow turmeric, world-class turmeric. But we found that everybody is, like on the fence, sitting there, not taking any initiative. So we said, if you don't do it, we'll do it. So that's why CV Hydro has entered this field. And I with my number of years in this industry and people who know my work in this industry, I am sure, I am very certain and very confident to sell your turmeric, buy your turmeric and sell it under my brand, so that you don't have to go running around looking for markets. All you need to do is to do it the right thing and give me your turmeric powder. My consultancy will only be needed for the first year. From the second year onwards, you're saving all that money. You don't need, but still I'll be giving you help free of cost in every year that you keep supplying me, because it is my responsibility to help you to grow good stuff for me so that I make money, you make money. So that's how our relationship is. You pay me for consulting only first time. You don't pay me for the rest of the years.
Understood, sir.
Any more questions, Akhil?
Hello.
Do you have any more questions, Akhil?
I'm good for now. If anything, I'll definitely reach out on WhatsApp. Thank you.
Thank you. Avinash, please ask your question.
Sir, good evening. So I have my farm in Andhra towards Anantapur. It's a 10-acre farm with mahogany plantation, but there's a good 7 feet in between. So I was wondering if I can get the shade nets done in between and have this plantation. Is there a possibility?
Yes. 7 feet is very little space.
Yes.
7 feet between the rows is a little, very small space. And to put shade net, a structure in between the space, you'll have to put a lot of shade nets to accommodate 8,250 grow bags.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. And when it comes to controlling things, doing things, it will become much more harder for you.
Oh, got it, sir.
You should be able to have an acre or whatever you want to do of space, which is completely clear of all kinds of trees. And it should also not throw shadows on the crop, because if you have shadows on the crop, obviously it's going to affect the photosynthetic ability of the plant, because some parts of the greenhouse there are more light, less light, and there will be a mixed levels, and then you get varying yield across the structure. See, the most important thing about soilless agriculture, we call it as a plant factory. And the plants, when an outsider comes and looks at your plant, you should say, is this a factory? That means your plants are all growing at the same height. They look similar. They give almost the same yield. That is why this is precision agriculture, and it works so beautifully because we put science into agriculture. Mostly in conventional agriculture, there's hardly any infusion of science. It is mainly whatever grandparents did, what uncle did, what auntie did, what grandmother did, continue to do the same thing. And like they say, the definition of madness is doing the same thing every day and expecting a different result. So what here is that we do things in a scientific manner, in a process-oriented manner, procedure-oriented manner, follow SOP, and be there, do it. If you do it right, like I say, always say, the science never fails. The human will fail because of lack of interest or whatever we call it. So one has to learn to get up early morning and be there 1 hour before sunrise to make sure that the first watering is done. Now, if that has to be done, it has to be done, because you are looking at making good money. You need to put effort to make that money. So that's what we tell people.
Does that answer your question, Avinash? Any other questions?
Yes. No, I got it. So that was one of the possibilities I thought if it's possible we could look into. But yes, I've got another
You,
acre. I'll plan on that, sir.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions? I think we have about 19 people, the last men and women standing in this amazing session. We started with about 36, 38 people. We went over time, and we had a couple of hiccups about audio. But thank you so much for staying back. We are okay to answer your questions. If you still have any questions, we'll give you another 2 minutes to think about your questions. And if not, then we would like to conclude the sessions. And CV sir would like to say something now.
Amit, are you on the line? Are you there in this thing? Amit Patle?
Yes, sir. I'm still available here, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Amit. Audience, I would like to just tell you that Amit Patle is a student of mine at one of the boot camps, and a very bubbly guy. And he came from a boot camp, and he has decided to go for 1 acre of cultivation in Madhya Pradesh in a place called Balaghat. And he tells me that Balaghat is a very beautiful place, and I must visit him. I told him, yeah, I will visit once you start your project, definitely. But I just want Amit, I want to request you to just tell the audience your journey, how you started, why you started, how did you come from a boot camp, what did you learn, what was your impression, what motivated you to go for 1 acre. Can you tell everybody?
Yes, sir. Good evening, people. Good evening, sir. My name is Amit Patle. I come from Balaghat, which is northeast 160 kilometers from Nagpur, and I started my journey from this January itself. I was searching through internet to find a crop which I can cultivate here in my area, and I had some suggestions from internet which got me to have this turmeric as a crop which I can take part in and cultivate. So uh, I went through a lot of suggestions which pointed me towards choosing in between protected cultivation or open cultivation, or what type of consultancies there is available for me, what type of market is available, and so after sorting all of these things, I found CV sir through one of a polyhouse guy from Bangalore. But when I found CV sir, I was already one day late for joining his workshop. So it was around maybe mid January. So I realized maybe I was late for that. Then I called him, and then I asked if there is any other workshop which is being conducted later. And I was lucky enough to attend the mid February workshop. And then I attended the workshop. I got the technical ideas around how to grow turmeric, and the meeting with him, and the techniques and the technical science that I learned from him, it only made build a lot of confidence in me to take this much of risk. And of course, I was not only trying to do it as an experiment or as a single guy trying to achieve some big dreams. I have some limits also. I had to go to bank. I had to find some partnerships so that the risk management can be done and the rewards can also be shared. And in the due time, all the techniques and skill sets can be built so that it's a complete end-to-end cycle from from seedling to harvesting and then marketing also. In between the research also, I had to find some buyers for me, but most of the technical side was being compromised upon that. So thanks to CV sir, he also given me the solution to complete my cycle of selling also. So it has been very fortunate to find him as my mentor here. And my friends who are partnering with me are also very optimistic to work on the field. and under the guidance of CV sir, I'm able to execute this project.
So you're confident?
I'm absolutely confident, sir.
Good, nice. So thank you, Amit. Thank you, Amit. Thank you for joining as a warrior in my mission. Because, like I said, I can only walk a certain distance alone. But if I have warriors with me, I work collaboratively with everybody. I work in every project with my client or customer, like as if it's my project. That's how I work, because ultimately mine is a mission. Mine is a mission to take our turmeric, world-class turmeric, to the world, where nobody, no one on earth with all their parts per billion also can touch us. My R&D has proven that there's no microbiological contamination. There is absolutely no heavy metals, no chemical pesticide residue. I don't call myself organic, but I do know that people will pay us premium for good quality food. Today, whatever we are eating is poison, and anybody who can give something where there's no poison, people are willing to pay a little extra. So there is hope, and the greatest challenge is the greatest opportunity. And if we all come together and do the right thing, there's no question of not succeeding. And we may have the turmeric. I think many of you might have heard the National Turmeric Board has been formed and all that. They have an objective. All their objectives, they are talking about doing research to improve yield. We already done it. They are talking about selling quality stuff to the world. We already got it. So everything is ready. It's all that people have to grow it now. Of course, they need guidance, and that's why we are here. We are here to take you through that cycle, and we work like friends, and we work as brothers and sisters, and that's how we achieve it. So it may look daunting, but like they say, when many people see and believe, but I believe, therefore I see. When I entered this field, I entered as a soldier, and today, by grace of God, after 24 years, it's not just theory, it's practical experience. I have been a farmer myself, so I know the difficulties of farming. So that's where I come from. It's not some hawa mein bol raha hai, yeah. I don't need to show rosy Excel sheets to anybody, because that's stupidity. But I'm here to make people, the farmers should be the richest people. I am a soldier, but if I didn't get food, I don't think I would have been able to fight. So therefore, for me, farmer's profession is the most noble profession in the whole world. Without food, as you saw in COVID, education got affected, except for medical profession and for food, that is farmers. Nobody was allowed to work, but these two had to work, one to save life and one to feed life. So farming is the greatest profession, but it needs courage to get into it. More than courage, it also needs gumption. It needs perseverance, patience, and not just look at the Excel sheet and say, oh, this will come. This will come, provided you do the right thing. If you see this Excel sheet screen here, we are talking of 6 kilos per grow bag, and that's what you're getting. If you really do it right, you can touch 8 or 9 kilos per grow bag. There's nothing that stops you. So you can just change the numbers, which Rajiv has played around with the number. Put some numbers there, you can play around with them, and you can see for yourself what you are looking at. So we have taken the most conservative figure, but we can do much better. So that's what I have to say to everybody. And thank you, Amit. Thank you for sharing your journey with so far from January onwards. And I hope
Yes.
That itself should be a motivating factor. Even Guru Prasad also said what he is doing is a small format grower. Yeah, you're welcome to join in any format, and we are here to help.
Yeah, speaking of small format, which is nothing but the practical growers learning program at your own location, which is backed by the remote consulting support of CV sir. This goes on for almost an entire year, and you will be going through your project practically to gain confidence, skills, and experience to scale up for the next season. So that program is also open to all of you, all those who are willing to join that. You also get a special discount offer on the consulting fee, which is 10% of the consulting fee. I will share all the documents and details with you again if you need to. The link to the Google Drive has already been emailed to you. If in case you are missing anything, you can reach out to me on WhatsApp. My number is 88799 I just dropped that in the WhatsApp on the chat box, and you can reach out to me if you are ready to buy, to go for this buyback offer, or to start your small format learning program, or maybe if you want to attend the 3-day workshop. Just reach out to me and say I am ready on WhatsApp for the buyback offer or for the small format, and we will sort out the discounts for you. So I'll drop my phone number here, and I would request CV sir to have a parting shot, and then we can conclude our session.
Thanks. Right, everyone. I think we had a lovely session that started at 7, and now I think it's gone on to 2 hours and 4 minutes. Well, we are here. We are serious. We are here with a mission, and I used to always look for fighting in a war, when I was in the Navy, and it never happened. But we were young and we wanted to fight, and we wanted to, because we had signed a blank check to this country when we were commissioned as officers in the Navy. Anyway, so this is, since I could not fight that war, I'm fighting this war. My war is to create better quality turmeric and ginger. And remember one more thing, everyone, this, as we talk about turmeric, it also applies to ginger. Both belong to the same family botanically, and you can get some amazing results with ginger too. So you have the option whether you want to do ginger or turmeric. But for ginger, there's no buyback offer as such. But yes, this year in Karnataka, for example, farmers got 260 rupees per kilo for wet ginger, and it seems it sold at 400, 420 rupees in retail. So those of you who are from Karnataka must have seen that. And there's a great opportunity here. It's just that you need to mull around it, think about it. And if you're really serious, but you need to be serious. Like I said, I'm not showing you numbers and making you excited. I'm just telling you the possibilities at very conservative estimates. And yeah, if you get into it, I'm here to help. And from my side, you will never find me wanting. I answer questions on the WhatsApp to any grower, small format, big format, whatever format. I will never sleep unless I have answered every single person's question, even if it's 1 o'clock at night. And many of my growers know that. Guru, who is on this group, knows that. Amit knows how fast I reply. They are both commercial and small format growers. From my side, you will not find me wanting, but please remember that you have someone with my kind of experience, with my kind of dedication, and I'm still a soldier, but only thing I wear civilian clothes now. So guys, think about it. Get back to Rajiv, tell him what you would like to really do, and I'm there. CV Hydro is there. We've been in this industry for a little close to 25 years, and we still wake up every morning with that fire in the belly, and we want to do something different. So we have curated a lot of things in so many years. And this is the year where we close the cycle, where we ourselves said we'll get into the turmeric powder buying thing and give you assured guaranteed buyback, provided, of course, you give us the right stuff. And with my guidance and you do the right thing, you will be able to give me the right stuff. So let's work together, grow for us, grow with us. And thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody who attended this program. I'm grateful to you for having given us 2 hours of your time. Like I said, Rajiv and I are ready to talk to you till midnight if you like. But well, if you have no more questions, we can close this Zoom meeting. God bless, Godspeed, and good luck. Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all. Have a wonderful good night ahead.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
You
Thank you,
are really
everybody.
a powerhouse of
Thank you, sir. Looking forward to see you soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Amit. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Guru. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Nice.